Welcome to this edition of our series on Angola. Our goal, to show how Angola is focusing on economic diversification to break free from oil dependency. In the 70s, Angola was one of Africa's leading farming nations, but years of civil war took its toll on the sector, which only represents 10% of the country's GDP today. Since the end of conflict 15 years ago, a major effort has been made to boost agriculture, a vital necessity when you consider that Angola needs to import 80% of its consumer goods.
According to the United Nations Organization for Agriculture and Food, Angola is among the world's top 5 countries with the strongest agricultural potential. It boasts 58 million hectares of arable land like this, the equivalent of a country the size of France. The problem is that only 10% of it is exploited. This is mainly due to poor irrigation.
This is Angola's largest farm. We are 1,400 meters in altitude on the highlands of South Kwanza province. It is a huge farm covering 10,000 hectares. Only 1/3 of that is being used for now. But the variety of goods produced, ranging from fruit and vegetables to milk products, yield an annual turnover of $5 million. Large, privately owned farms like this one only represent 15% of Angola's agribusiness, but half of its farmed land.
Angola has excellent conditions for agriculture. There are many different microclimates, there's a lot of arable land, a lot of water. We have some of the best conditions in the world for farming. Our big problem today is the workforce.
Indeed, boosting the farming sector means training workers. This farm employs 800 people who were nearly all trained here. Irrigation also represents a big chunk of the investment. The company has dug 4 artificial lakes and invested in state-of-the-art machinery. In all, the company, which owns 2 other farms in Angola, has spent $150 million over the past 6.5 years.
We plan on diversifying our production. We also have plans in the agro-industrial business, which are already underway. And we will be investing another $150 million over the next 3 years.
Another staple of Angolan farming is coffee. Angola used to be one of the world's biggest coffee producers before the war broke out in the mid-70s. Rehabilitation of the plantations has been ongoing since 2000. It's a big investment. It takes between 3 to 4 years for a coffee tree to bear fruit. George Ribeiro was already around back in Angola's golden age of coffee. Head of production for one of the country's largest coffee companies, he acts as a consultant for hundreds of local producers who believe in the future of this business.
We produce one of the best coffees in the world, but production is very, very low. Back in 1973, we were one of the 4 biggest producers in the world, but today production is very low. However, we are experiencing a real coffee revival. People are betting on the future potential of coffee.
For the past few years, the government's strategy has been very clear. The objective is to make Angolan coffee competitive again, so that it can reclaim its position on the global market. This requires investment and a modernization of production techniques. Today, just 12,000 tons of coffee are produced every year. That's 20 times less than in the 70s.
There is a huge potential. It's not a utopia. We used to produce 200,000 tons a year. Our soil and climate are perfectly suited for growing coffee. What we want to do is develop this potential to boost agriculture and the manufacturing industry, as well as exports.
And growth, it seems, is well on its way, with production expected to increase by 20% this year. Positive economic prospects, which it's hoped will guarantee a sustainable source of growth for Angola and its people.